sure I got the right tabletop here. I did it. I got the right one on the first try.
We're in there.
There we go. All right. Well, sorry for the delay. Technical difficulties, and we're just socializing too because we enjoy doing that. It is a social game after all. But just to kick right off, when we last left off, you guys were in a tunnel kind of between Abattoir and the outside secret tunnel that went through the tavern there. And a big creepy looking guy had just stolen Sorsh's key.
Wasn't it a little creepy looking guy?
With a big smile. Certain someone had
The smile
noticed.
makes him seem bigger.
So what happened? I'm looking out the door. I don't see anything.
So you hear Saoirse whimpering behind you, and she just says, they stole it."
Huh? Wait. What?
The key for the somnambulist prophecy, it's gone. There's a little,
I forgot there was a key for a
baby.
second. Wait. I mean, I rolled a nat 1 perception. I might not even know what you're talking about.
I will say with
There's a
that,
little...
with that, Van Warren shouts, "Nobody steals better than me," and just tears off into the darkness.
It's not a competition. Oh, never mind.
Oh, it is a competition.
There's always a competition with Van Warren, but literally, there was a little 3-foot-tall man or something that just appeared right beside me singing. And he just disappeared off with the key.
I didn't see a single thing. That's so weird.
Well, you wouldn't see him now. He literally just vanished into the darkness with the key to the somnambulist prophecy. We have to get it back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even looking, so I don't know which way he went.
Well, that's the irony. He didn't walk out.
Oh, he just gone.
He poofed.
He's okay.
He poofed in and poofed out.
So what do we do about this? Because we can't go back in and look for him if he's in the city, and we can't go outside right nighttime, right?
Oh, you can.
I mean, if we're smart, we won't.
Yeah, it's too dangerous right now.
Has that ever stopped you before?
I mean, when it
Yes,
comes to slitting
often.
someone's throat, it never stopped me, but you guys don't know that, so.
She's a little bloodthirsty.
Yeah, just a little. In the Christmas spirit, you know?
Well, I will say, obviously, Sorsha does feel a sense of urgency about it. Granted, she had a little bit of a closer tie to it, I think, than
What's the
most.
Listener is doing his best Diogenes impression, head sticking out of a barrel in the basement of a pub, but I think we were just kind of chatting back and forth mentally while you were watching out the back and I was watching up the pub.
Well,
He
since
pokes
somebody
at your
needs to do it,
mind to wonder what's going on.
needs to do it.
Saoirse's fine.
Hey! Wake up! Hey! Wake up!
I think that's Wilhelm.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if that was. Are you trying to wake Wilhelm up, or are you just slapping some random thing?
No, you're already awake. She's
No,
just
you.
slapping you at this point.
Okay, that's what I was seeing.
I was trying to
that was
wake
what
you
that
up.
the
In case you
perception
weren't
was to
already
see.
up.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
that one perception, I don't even know if I know you're awake or not.
Who
So
are you?
I'm
How
just
did you
yelling
get
to
here?
wake you. I don't know how far that one goes. I'm just playing it up.
Thank you, Genesis. I am awake. There is no need to slap me anymore. I would appreciate it if you'd stop.
That was just me clapping my hands, but all right.
Okay.
Would you guys
I
hate
wouldn't
me if?
physically strike you. I mean, I'm not like.
Would you hate me if I
crazy
admitted how badly I want you guys to go out into the wasteland at night?
person. Yes.
Like, oh my God, there's so much fun stuff I could do out there at night, and I just really want to do it.
Oh, we're going to need
Could you not be Cthulhu
much
in a
more
candy shop right
motivation.
now?
Oh, I need that on a T-shirt. Cthulhu in a candy shop.
Cthulhu in a murderer's dungeon. Ooh. I gotta get me one of those.
Oh yeah, Yaga
Will
proves.
be the next homebrew roleplay. Well, the first piece of homebrew roleplay official merchandise.
Ooh, what are those?
Cthulhu in the candy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Oh, let me get one
I'll
of
be
those.
buying that.
That could be the name of the shop. Cthulhu in the murderer's dungeon. What are those? Oh,
So,
what's that? What's this? It's mine now.
are you guys gonna try and wait it out? Sitting around in here?
Well, if Wilhelm would tell us what the plan is. What's the plan? Little dude
Okay.
poofs in, poofs out. What do you
Okay.
think?
Well, obviously things. Okay. So obviously this figure appeared and took the key, and then it
Yes.
disappeared.
Yes, it just vanished out of nowhere. Little 3-foot-tall man with, strangely, a pot on his head, and then a pan and what looked like a big meat cleaver in it.
Okay, so pot, pan, meat cleaver. That more implies some sort of kitchen. Perhaps, is lit. Let's get listener, because I don't want to yell for him. Is anybody in contact with him? Well, with it. Apologize.
Hey, plant boy.
Ah, yes.
Contact made.
Okay. Is there? Thank you. I agree. Appreciate that.
Listener begins to make his way back down through the barrel.
All right.
Because if it's all accoutramented with kitchen stuff, perhaps it's home base is kitchen, whether it's a kitchen of an inn or another place where there's going to be heavy duty stuff.
Accoutre. How do you spell that? Oh. Trying to figure out a word.
It looked awful like a demonic ravaged little thing.
Yeah. Weird.
Could be the effect of the waste. It has unpredicted. It could have mutated and shortened some figure. First thing, let's just be happy that everyone seems to be physically safe. It sounds like this thing could have damaged anyone, and if this was the butcher, we could be down a few people. We could have lost our friend. Thankfully, everyone seems to be okay. Right? Physically. I understand mentally that's a whole different ball game.
Always.
Well, the butcher's going after elves and Shawneesians, then to go and steal the key that's a part of the Somnambulist prophecy that... Oh god, that probably was the butcher. He may be at the butcher's block.
Van Warren has likely run off prematurely. It is far from safe out there.
Well, I certainly wouldn't advise any of us traveling across the waste at night, but... Or the desert, I should say, really, but...
It's even safer at night. They can't see you.
Having heard a little bit of the talk as he came back, I'd like to give listener the chance to make the connection between a tiny figure and the one halfling corpse that he has seen ever.
Okay. I tell you what, a base medicine chance. No advantage on this one, just because of the differentials. But I'll give you a medicine chance.
All right.
Normally, would it be a disadvantage? You have just a straight roll. So, boom! Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're making a connection.
The Ohm are a brainy bunch. They have a lot of backup smarts.
Yeah.
Listener sitting there, flowers kind of rustling in thought. He connects to Sorsha and asks, "This creature, you said it was very short?"
Respond and say yes. About 3 feet tall by my estimations.
Listener says, "Arms proportionately like so, small, almost childish face." He does like a general description of the halfling race.
That's correct, though he was a rather demonic looking variant of all the traits you're describing.
I will say, just to point out as well, listener, if you have a mental connection with Sorsha, you can show her images.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. I don't do it often enough. I should do that more.
Oh, yeah. It would probably help with
with this one. So listener does do that, in fact. He does summon to mind the image of the very well-preserved halfling corpse from the Tomb of Heroes that we made our way through.
So do I need to roll anything on this one? Because now I have the image of the corpse, and like I'm the only one who's seen our little man.
Yes. Well, I will say also at the same time, you can share the image that you saw with listener. It goes both ways.
Yep. So if you think about it hard enough,
the two of you together will be able to make the same connections easily. As far as his
so I'll share the image.
Racial identity.
Okay. Listener is very interested, and this information is pushed to the collective quickly. And to you, he says, that may be the very last one that there is.
Oh my god. And that would also explain why he's going after elves and Shawneesians.
The hive mind is all a Twitter.
Yes. This is very exciting for us because we were pretty sure that they were gone almost simultaneous with our creation.
Oh yeah. In fact, there's like a standing back and forth conflict between the hive mind as far as, should we go now or should we wait till morning? Perhaps we should go now. An missed opportunity. You know, they're just the excitement is overwhelming.
Yes. Listener is well distracted from his usual tasks by this, and he's open to hive mind suggestions. He's going to let it kind of play out and feed him information. But in the meantime, everybody else keeps doing their thing.
I'm going to relay to everyone. Wilhelm Genesis, listener and I have been thinking, and from the halfling corpse that listener saw down there with all the martyrs, we both think that the butcher may be the very last halfling alive, which would make a lot of sense as to why he's going after elves and Shawneesians.
Very much.
Should I know why that is?
Well, the elves committed genocide on the halflings.
Oh. How did I forget that? Wow.
And, you know, the Shawneesians.
And the Shawneesians, they just kind of catch shit from everybody.
Yeah, well, they were kind of the target of the blight.
And Shawneesians are effectively half elves, so
that too.
just kind of take
would
it
have been
out
like
on
that.
anyone with elven blood.
Oh yeah,
So it would have been like a if it weren't for you, this wouldn't have happened type.
very much. Yeah. Although it
Okay.
was hard to say until you sit down and chat with him, for sure.
Not that. I guess I don't know. I don't, there's different ways to come at it, I guess. Interesting.
Or
It is interesting, and the Ventrites have stories of the halflings. Um, they've explored a lot of the ruins that they left behind. The Ventrites have. They've looted a lot of the ruins.
do I know anything about halflings? Just from my schooling, because I'm sure that they were in history books as
Oh, yeah.
something.
History. You would have a historic knowledge of them, what they were, what happened to them.
Let's see how much I remember. God bless. They existed. It's like the dodos. They existed.
Nice.
Yeah, you
There
know,
were halflings.
you know basically everything that I've said so far. They lived on the fringes of the Elven territories. They were well loved and ignored pretty much by all the other races because they were the peaceful common folk. And when the elves tree withered and they all went mad, they were the closest thing, and the elves lashed out and just decimated them. They had no standing army or way to defend against it.
Yeah, there was just a piece of information I was trying to get that I don't get.
It was basically an entire nation of black ops specialists against a kindergarten.
Yikes.
It was nasty.
Which side's the kindergartner? 'Cause
Definitely the halflings in this case.
Do I need to roll for this?
Only if you want to. I mean, there's not much else you guys are going to figure out about the halflings. That could be really terribly relevant, at least right now.
I was trying to figure out lifespan. That's why I was rolling to see if I could figure out if this thing existed pre-blight.
Oh no, the halfling lifespan is not that different from the human.
So just history. Would I know like anything that would help?
You're welcome to make a roll and see.
It's history, right?
Yeah,
Just
unless
make
there's some
sure.
other specific part of halflings you want to know about. How big their feet are or something. That might be a little different.
I probably wouldn't have any specific knowledge. I mean, I know from the Ventrites being close with the elves.
Mhm.
I was thinking maybe they would have a little bit of knowledge of
Yeah.
their potential adversaries or whatever. I don't know.
You probably know 2 or 3 people who have halfling artifacts in their possession back home.
I'm gonna try this, but I don't know if it's gonna.
Not really much else to add to that.
And
They crafted amazing
Okay.
pipes.
insight? Are you kidding me? That's not what I clicked.
It's just what you roll.
This is stupid. Okay, character sheet. Come on.
Do you have a bonus on?
History's a +3 and insight's a +4.
Oh, so you actually had a better chance with insight. There you go.
Is it good?
22 and 11, and now deception.
Now you're just rolling stuff.
Really? 22. Wow. Couldn't roll like that before though. I don't know. I guess my rolls are off on the phone because
I'll tell you that you know that they were. We'll go based on your 22 roll, all right? Just to be safe. Nice. That they were. No worries. They were huge purveyors of good cheer, good food, good drink, and good company. They were renowned cooks, brewers, distillers, and farmers. And I say that because this thing was wearing pots and pans and carrying the butcher's cleaver, so there is that.
Fair. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this knowledge, but
Just the way things are, you know.
yeah, okay. I guess yeah, they would use the stuff that they're wearing apparently. But that's about I mean, I gave it a shot.
It just further cements the connection they were making, I think, more than anything.
Fair enough.
And that most likely this wasn't some twisted, ugly little cook from the kitchen upstairs.
So it's not like a temporary job, it's part of his culture.
Hmm.
Nice.
Very much.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, the key's important. I wouldn't recommend that anyone go out during the evening, but as soon as day breaks, I would like to head out to the butcher's block.
Which you should be able to
Okay.
see on the map. I believe you should have the overland map still.
What's the scale there? How far of a, if we can even estimate it, I suppose we might have to roll, but how far of a trip would it be to the butcher's block across that desert?
I think we did that last session and it was several days, 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was several days journey
Hmm.
by foot.
Right.
If you were able to find some type of mount or vehicle, you could feasibly cut that down significantly.
So we got all of the carbs. So we wait. The cars.
I agree. At first light, we head out for the butcher's block.
Has anyone seen a steed of any kind in this city?
Have you?
Because if we could get a carriage.
Listener looks into the distance. I suspect that they would eat them before too long around here.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
There's precious little food, even for my kind.
Are there
Also,
any methods of transportation then? Like, how are they getting things in and out of this city?
Oh, there are beasts of burden and riding animals that exist out here in the waste. In fact, the Desolation Striders is kind of a big key factor of their class. It just depends. As with everything, animals and livestock have changed over the last century somewhat. They're not what they once were entirely. They act a little different and react a little different. But it wouldn't. I mean, chances are there may be a place to find something of that nature in Abattoir, but it would require you to go back in.
Where they're looking for us.
Hmm.
Indeed. However, we may need to go back in anyways. I don't believe we're at all supplied for even a multi-day journey across the waste, let alone 5 or 6.
That's why we didn't go, I don't think.
I mean, the plan was to talk to the benevolence. So that may be our first.
Yeah, Wilhelm? Maybe we could get a horse?
It's not impossible.
I can try. I can speak to them and see. And the back, as a benevolent, we are not subject to the Wraith Guard, so they might be able to help us and won't worry about the Wraith Guard, while some of the others would.
While you're in the Hall of the Benevolence, you are under their sanctuary, basically.
That's fair, but there's not just the Wraith Guards looking for us. There's also the
Whoa, that was so.
there's also 2 other
League
parties,
of
right?
Steam.
The League of Steam,
there.
the Becklerite Intelligence Agency as well.
Right.
We are hunted by all variety of spooks.
You're very
Lake of
popular.
Steam, Wraithguard, and
The
someone
intelligence.
Yeah, the
It's
Bechlerite
the-
Intelligence Agency.
else. Okay.
What
I
The
used to know that
BIA,
the
if you will.
Wraithguard- At least the BIA and the other, they aren't quite as in your face violent as the Wraithguard seems to have been. They did kind of kill a whole entire inn full of people.
The Wraithguard did. However, the ones that you murdered were part of one of the other groups.
What do you mean?
The ones you thought were Shanakesian.
Yeah, one of them was Shawnakesian,
One of them
actually.
was, which is really
Right.
devious.
The kidnappers.
Oh yeah, that guy.
The other was a spy for somebody. We never did uncover who he was a spy for,
Hmm.
but we knew he was a spy, which was enough for us.
Yep.
That's all it took.
And he wasn't really Shawnakesian.
Fake Shawnakesians out here.
Why would you want to appropriate a different culture?
People these
Be
days.
yourself.
No, I think this is quite a reasonable plan for the morn. A listener has been listening in to the collective discussion. Church, if you wish to give me any messages from them, any directives apart from find the halfling and look at him.
They would, if at all possible.
I think it would be amusing.
They want to invite him back to the island. And it's a split consensus because some of them are worried about the damage he could do in his present mental state, but they don't entirely understand what that means either. Like, they don't understand why he's the way he is, or they don't understand the emotional drive that might be for kind of pushing him either.
Indeed. Yeah. In consideration of this, listener, he'll onboard this information locally and then communicate to the party saying, roughly, if we can avoid the destruction of this one, I would wish to speak with him. He is a very rare kind now, worthy of much study.
And on the plus side, he didn't murder anyone when he came to visit.
None of us. You're basically a saint at that point.
Yeah. I mean, that,
Yeah, even as much damage as he's done to Shawnakesians and elves, and considering he stole the key as a part of the prophecy, I wish no harm on him either.
Whoa, that was a real good. That must
One
be
can
really
hardly trust the rumors about this place.
is the point.
Enough of the other kinds
Very,
have a
very
grudge against the Shawnakesians and against the likes of Van Waren that finding a butcher to blame, hardly necessary.
this is true. This is true. So, you want to hold off till morning then and hit up the sanctum? The Saint Shawnakes or the Bechlerite Hall?
Yeah.
Or would you like to sneak
Yeah.
over there under cover of
like-
night?
I think it's a good idea to wait
Okay.
until daybreak because we really can't even do anything
All right. So,
until daybreaks anyway. I don't know.
I will let the night pass uneventfully. I'm going to be kind and benevolent.
Yeah.
So, who's going to the hall? Everyone, or
I think it
Uh,
would be a good idea for
obvi-
just two.
Obviously, I am.
Yeah, that's mandatory.
yeah, you have to kind of.
Yeah.
I'll go with you if
Let's
you want.
How's
split the party.
Yeah, it's good. That's fine.
It's a great plan. Yeah.
How's listener healing up? Can he take that bandage off his chest and be mostly invisible again?
Yeah, no, he'll be all right for now. I think the stain has pretty much leached its way out. So the
Wonderful, wonderful.
still a little tender.
I just thought we might be a little less conspicuous.
Well, I mean, it's Abattoir. Abattoir is fairly busy during the day, so.
All right, if it's not a problem, I mean, I don't know.
And remember what I said when you guys got here too. Everybody here wears big hooded cloaks, face coverings, goggles, and whatnot when they're outside. So,
Right?
unless you guys choose not to adhere to that principle for the sake of your health, you probably won't get spotted.
As a doctor, I do not recommend that.
Well, all right then. Let's mask up then.
All right.
You always gotta listen to your medical professionals.
This is
no
true.
matter what people say.
Yep.
Very true.
Don't let superstition make you do things that are unsafe.
So I'm gonna do four excruciating rolls for you here.
Oh no!
Yes, hit it.
As you make
Oh,
it
God.
across town, there's going to be 4 chances that you will be spotted.
Oh, let's do this! Oh my goodness!
And I'm going to say it's a 17 or higher will get you spotted on a D20, so that you know the
shit.
stakes. All right, so
Okay, prepare to stealth.
There are incredibly sound odds that we're about to be spotted. Hit us.
I hate to say this, but
you've been spotted.
Yeah, there he is. Right away. Bam.
Nat 20.
All right.
Smack.
Right off the bat. Why can't I roll like
Hit
this
us
when
with
I'm
it, man.
playing?
Same.
So basically, as you exit the bar, and here I will do this so that we're. I thought I'd had the town map, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. That's alright. I think it's in Discord.
You did have a town map.
I thought I did. I just don't see it in my list here, unless it's. Yeah, that's where you guys stayed the night.
Was it? It was an image. That's why we have to
There.
pull it up. It's an image in the journal.
There we go. I can share it again with you again. There we go.
Mhm.
There we go. Okay, so. Wow. Boom. All right. So yes, you guys were at the Broken Lash. So as you guys are exiting the Broken Lash, you see a hooded squad of 4 men carrying spears, goggles, face masks, and as you're coming up, you're not really sure what sets them off, but it's almost as like the moment you walk through the door, they look over and immediately start barking and pointing.
They're very good at this.
Oh yes. How do you? I'm going to give you guys a reactionary move to do something. What would you like to
Appreciate
do?
Backpedal? What?
So backpedal back
That-
inside.
Is equally iffy.
I don't know. What are we
It's
doing?
like if they spot us going back through, then there's the only bolt hole just burned.
Stealth?
We try to lose them in a crowd.
You want
Hide amongst the people.
Okay. Well, I will say
Hide
this:
amongst the people.
there's residential houses to the south of you, old elven ruins to the east of you, and then of course the hotel, the fallen tower, to the
Let's go
southeast
to the
of
south. Let's go to the south.
you. You want to try
There's
and
houses there.
I think.
all right, you're gonna have to run past them to go that way.
Is there a group of people we can see?
All over. There's people milling about all over.
Uh,
It's not like a New York style throng, but it's busy.
maybe we could like blend with those people and navigate around.
Okay, so you want to try and hide in plain sight, more or less.
I don't. I don't know.
I'm not saying
just
that's
trying to think of
impossible.
something.
That's not.
That's
What's
I I am all for that plan. Holy Assassin Creed,
All right.
and just disappear into the crowd.
All right. So, if that's what we're gonna do, what I need is a stealth check from everyone.
okay? Clasp your hands
Mhm.
together, bow your head. You should be good.
Oh,
I will actually. I will stoop over to
reminder,
reduce my height.
All right.
we do still have some of the group inspiration,
Do
just
we?
in case somebody wants it.
In case it all goes wrong.
All right.
Yes,
Which
I
it
don't
might.
remember how many we have, but
Well, let's give it a try. Let's get stealth checks.
Oh no. This is the wrong character.
11 from Sorcerer.
Well, I know
Alright.
something else I can do.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh.
Genesis with a 5.
Okay. Luck point.
Wilhelm is gone. He just took his hat off and disappeared.
Hell yeah!
No!
Look at that. I got advantage on stealth, and I be rolling them 3s.
In fact, I am going to do my thing just to make sure that I know I'm hidden.
All right. Nice.
Ta-da!
Very nice.
Start playing.
All right. So,
I also have a trick, but it'll have to be deployed with precision timing.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to figure out how to
Excellent.
roll this.
that's actually a really good one. There's no save.
I just did this.
Yes.
No save. That's a really good one. All right.
Why
Well,
you
Wilhelm's
point?
hidden. Sorcia's hidden. Or Sorcia is forgotten. Genesis. Oh.
Genesis be rolling 3 stealth checks at a time.
Yes.
It's not working.
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to re-roll the first one.
Oh, the 5?
Yeah. Okay.
You did re-roll the first
Okay.
one. You got another 5.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did a
you rolled.
21.
You rolled. That was your third roll.
Oh.
It's okay.
Never mind.
It's
Alright,
okay.
it was- Well, 5, I guess. Just walking around. Hey,
We
how are you?
we're-
Don't worry.
You.
we're not
Like,
leaving it
yeah.
at.
Listener.
Yeah, we're not leaving it at the stealth roll though. Because
Oh
of
yeah,
the
but I
basis
do
of what
have a
you're doing.
plan.
All right.
Okay.
What's your plan?
Yes.
We'll let you hear your plan before I go to part 2.
It will take place if they manage to approach me. As I am intensely visible, there's a decent chance that they would approach me first. And if that's the case, listener would actually allow them all to get very close and then Spore Cloud.
Oh, that is a good plan. Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm
Do
walking.
do one more
I'm
thing for
walking
me.
up. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yes.
The Genesis and listener primarily. The stealth was to try to hide behind people, so as not to be seen. What I need you guys to do is
No wonder I failed.
a deception check to blend.
Ah, yes.
So they'll know where you are if you make this, but they won't know which one you are. You'll be just
Are we
another
gonna
cloak
take a shot
in the
at it?
crowd.
Okay, I can't even get.
Genesis, would you like to use the insight or the inspiration?
I'm gonna need it because this is not gonna go my way. I can't even see.
Hmm?
Like my entire screen is just like.
Well, here, do you want some help? I can actually
Did
pull
it
your
go?
character sheet up and roll.
Okay, 14. I got it.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Got that rolling.
oh,
14? 14?
So I'm walking up. I'm walking beside someone.
Do you
but
want to
I'm
use
walking
your
on the wrong
inspiration
side of
still?
them.
Do you want to use your inspiration still, or you want to go with your 14?
Definitely want to use it.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm walking beside them and I'm like, oh wow. The turnips this time of year are, but I'm talking too loud.
Spectacular.
That's the 5. And
Mm-mm.
the deception is I'm just like I don't know how to play that, but I'm just like the talking that I'm doing makes no sense. Like
Oh yeah. Well, the
I'm
deception
talking about crops
is
that don't exist.
is to blend in so that you don't appear to be out of the ordinary. If you want to use your dice, go ahead and roll it now, and I'll add it to what you got.
So what does that add?
Was it a D6 for the inspiration or D4? I don't remember right offhand.
I feel like we did D4 before.
All right, no,
I think.
that's fair.
Okay. Okay, let's see if it'll do it. Is he gonna?
It did.
18.
And it was a good roll.
Hey, look at that. Nice.
There you go. All right, so yeah, you slip into a small gaggle of people, and you become just another cloak in the crowd. They kind of, like I said, they kind of know the group of people that you disappeared into. They just don't know which one of them you are.
All right, I'm gonna take a shot at mine. Here we go.
All right.
I just want to start
12.
walking lockstep with them. Like, so anyway, the turnips this year have
All
been really bad.
So, we don't have
Just
any
the
more
best turnips.
any more dice or anything, right? No more
I
inspiration
honestly
dice?
don't remember where we were tracking
Yeah,
them.
I don't know.
Wilhelm, do you remember if we had more than one left?
As far as I can remember that I used one. This might have been the second we used. How
Mhm.
many did we have to start with? I don't remember.
Don't remember right offhand either. Master Mess, you.
I'm gonna say we probably don't. That'd be my guess.
Okay, let me try it.
I thought there were 3.
3 is the number
used
that's
2?
sticking out to me too. So
I'll add a D4 to this. I don't mind.
you know what? We'll call it 3. Like, go for it. I'm liking the direction this is going. Look at that.
Yeah,
16.
I can read my handwriting, so this is good.
So listener hunkers down and kind of slips into the middle of a group, and like you're straining to keep pace with their normal walk without dragging behind.
Yes.
For you, you're almost at a
This is
jog.
basically a crouch sprint.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping it from being obvious is you don't have your arms flailing out behind you as you go. Slow motion Naruto run.
Yes.
All right. So now, those of you who made the stealth check, you're headed eastward, I assume, or south. No, you wanted to go south. Correct? Into the residential area.
The houses there. Right.
Okay.
Into the populated area.
So, the two of you that made your stealth check, Sorsha and Wilhelm, you're headed south. No problem. Genesis, the group that you hooked into, is they're going south. You're lucky. Listener, your group is also going south, so luck is on your side.
Woo!
All right, so
I knew I didn't take that feat for nothing.
look at that.
Wilhelm.
So you make it into the residential area, manage to peel off, regroup, and head eastward again towards the Hall of the Benevolence, if that was the plan, yes?
Where'd Wilhelm go?
But you've regrouped. You all went south.
Okay.
So you're all good. Like I said, number 4 on that map is the Benevolent House. So if you guys head east past the Fallen Tower, that you stayed at, the Black Tooth Grin, you'll make it to the Hall of Benevolence without being spotted again. Wilhelm goes up to the door, does the secret knock, says the password, does the secret handshake, shows his ID card, does a retina scan. No.
Yikes.
No, he goes and of course you're all let in. They actually look out behind you like almost defensively and then slam the door and lock it and immediately begin to address each of you. There's 3 benevolents in here, 2 sisters and a brother, and they're already like pulling up your cloaks and looking for wounds and whatnot, as they have a tendency to do.
They'll be very confused by me for a moment.
Ironically, they don't even bat an eye when they look at you. They're already poking and prodding and looking at. They almost went immediately towards your chest wound and started like checking it. They're very on the spot. Even Wilhelm, you're like, wow. You guys go.
We had to sit and think about
Can
that
I-
for a while, and I literally am in Oem.
Can I watch and like observe what they're doing to try to learn something?
What they're doing really is just looking you over. They're not really doing anything necessarily medical at this point.
Okay, so nothing about the methods of triage would be apparent to me at this point. Got it.
No. What has happened, like on a mechanical level, is there is 1 or more empathetic adepts in this building, and they sensed your state as you came, the apprehension and doubt and fear and whatnot, and they figured that you were in trouble the moment you got to the door.
Nice.
So I can't tell you who's doing what, but that's basically on a mechanical level what's happening.
All right. That's fair. I guess I'm fine, right? Like,
Yeah. No, I don't think any of you are really.
except for that lung thing.
Which has pretty much been
Wilhelm.
healed. It's pretty much been healed. Your lung thing has been. If you remember, like you still kind of have a little bit of an issue.
I'm working on that.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
If anything aggravates it, it'll be upset, but we should be fine. I guess maybe the fast pace of walking wouldn't have done anything, right? Like,
Yeah. So yeah, but basically, there's 1 or more benevolent paradigms in this building. Wilhelm, like you would probably recognize the treatment. Shh.
Alrighty. So, thank you, my brothers, my sisters.
You are most welcome. You're most welcome. Please, what do you need? How can we help?
Daddy, the top told
We unfortunately are looking for a trek out of the city. Do you have a way of getting supplies, things to survive us?
What do you need?
For food, drink, some sort of transportation. We're looking at a multi-day travel.
Where are you going?
We are heading in the direction of the butcher's block.
Foul place, that, brother. Are you sure?
It is our duty to go and help people. Unfortunately, there is something that needs help there.
Oh.
as they talk, I'm just ping-ponging my eyes between the benevolence in the building and Wilhelm. Like, they talk, he talks, they talk, he talks. Like, I'm not contributing anything to this conversation, but I'm watching it.
Oh yeah, it's intense. They
Yeah.
the older looking of the sisters steps forward, puts her hand on your shoulder, looks at you in the eye, just kind of almost sadly, and says, "If duty calls, then it must, and you have the full support of your house, brother. Give us a day. Your needs will be met. We will have beasts for you to ride, food for you to eat, water for you to drink, and whatever else we can muster. But till then, you must remain out of sight. Stay here, please."
Thank you, sister. We do what we must. for the good of everyone.
Of course, of course. Sister Stephanie will take you to your rooms. She points to the younger sister, who immediately steps forward, like with a curt stop, nods at you like respectfully, looks at each one of you really briefly and says, "Follow me," and starts leading you back into the further reaches of the benevolent house.
Alright, I'll follow.
Thank you.
I'm following.
As we
Thanks.
go, listener, slow as he is and watchful as he is actually looking for something specific.
Okay, what's up?
He wants to estimate how many people are here in the benevolence, their compound, their large house of healing.
All right. Well, the front chambers is probably spread out into about 6 rooms, 3 on either side. Each one is set up as a receiving room for wounded individuals. 5 of them have people in them, laying on beds in various states of injury or sickness. You can't really tell just by walking by. Inside, she goes past that and it opens up into a large round room with settees, couches, chairs, a couple tables. There's a couple people in recovery in this room, and looks like 5 more rooms off the circle. And another central hallway continues on. That's where she's taking you. This leads to a corridor, which goes to a T section at the end. She takes a left turn there. The right side, you can see signs written in the Bechtelite dialect of Common that basically say that is the surgery theater the other direction. She actually takes you back into their personal quarters where the other Bechtelites stay and sets you up in their bunk section, their bunkhouse.
That's very good.
There's beds for each of you, as well as the opportunity to bathe. She tells you that she will bring a meal shortly, and to make yourselves at home, and more importantly, for now, you are safe here.
Quite wonderful. How many bunks are in it? Is it an open room and the bunks are down the walls like a regular bunkhouse, or is it separate rooms?
It's open. It's an open bunkhouse.
Okay.
It's also co-op. You can kind of tell by the various clothes strewn about here and there. It's enough to fit at least a dozen people, but you've only seen the 3 up front so far. You assume there's probably more, but I doubt it would be full based upon what you're looking at.
Okay.
Is there something like a desk I can write on?
You know what? I'll say sure. There's a couple desks in the room.
I'd like to write a little letter.
Okay.
It's just a general overview of not specifics, but kind of explaining where not what I'm doing. I'm writing it to as much as one of the leaders of the benevolent. Probably the person that I've dealt with that I have the best relationship as a higher up.
Okay. So this would be back in, I forget, was Wilhelm from Armun? He was from the capital, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he studied at the college.
Yeah, okay. So it would most likely be either the head of the house that you interned under, or the guy you actually learned under at the university, one of the 2.
Whichever one I feel is most trustworthy. I'd assume probably the head of the house.
Yeah, the one you interned under would probably be less likely to
Yeah.
have any chance of being turned.
just kind of that we found something that could help a lot of number of people, an artifact of the old, and kind of explaining what I'm trying to do. And I am going to fold that letter up, and then the next time I see one of the other benevolents, I'm going to ask them if they can arrange this to send to him.
Okay. Yeah, that won't be a problem. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what. It looks like Source is AFK. This might be a good time to get our sanctioned break in if you guys want.
It's a decent time. We could hit the break now.
Yeah, you want to do
She's
that?
just got back, but it's still not a bad time for a break.
All right. Yeah, I could grab a cup of tea myself real quick. Because we're gonna delve quickly beyond this. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. See you in a few.
We'll be right back. We're zipping in. Toot sweet. All right, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Back in. All right, so Wilhelm, you get your letter written to the head benevolent at the order house that you interned in.
Do you want me to actually write you a letter and send it to you so you know what it says?
If you want to be incredibly thorough, you can do that in your off time, because travel to get that letter where it's going is going to take a while anyway.
I can do that.
If you want. Otherwise, you just give me the bullet points if you don't feel like writing the whole thing out. But
Yeah.
for the sake of our continuous storyline that will inevitably be a hit novel, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll write you the note later. So when inevitably it either comes back to save us,
Or haunt
or
you.
you use it to get us, yes, you will know what I've done.
Excellent. Well, I will say, Sister Stephanie, Sister Angela, and Brother Benedict are the three that you've been dealing with, all right? So over the course of the next day, as you rest and recoup and gather, you get to know the three of them a little bit. They are actually all related. Benedict being the youngest of the three. They're very professional, very thorough. Through getting to know them, Wilhelm, they are actually all three paradigms. Very empathic. It's almost like they know your needs before you do, which is a beautiful thing to behold as a benevolent. They actually have passage through the wall, which will take you out to the back side of Abattoir. It's a private exit. Out there you will find 4 creatures called Phoenix. They are pony-sized, very large-eared foxes.
Hannah is now very excited.
Yes, they're white. They have very short hair. They're very large ears and ice, like obsidian black eyes. They're very quick in their
Can I ask
movements.
a question
What's that?
before we exit? Stephanie, Angela, and Benedict are focused on Wilhelm, right?
No, they're focused on all of you.
And they're very attentive.
Unless you are masking it, if you have any discomfort at their presence, they will leave you alone. They'll sense it and leave you alone.
Oh, that's weird.
They're nowhere near mentally as strong as you are, but you can tell that they're gifted on some degree, at least empathetically.
I'll keep my mask on then.
It's fine. Like I said,
Just going through the...
if your character shows any sign of discomfort, even internally, like they will sense it and leave you alone. They won't push it.
I don't know if this matters to Genesis, but this is what Wilhelm is as well. So what they're doing, you've seen Wilhelm do as well.
Yeah, it's not invasive at all. It's you can tell that there's a, for lack of a better term, there's a benevolent purpose for it.
I'm just saying, if they're sensing my moods, then then I need to actually like talk about what those are. Do I? Or
Only if you
going through
think it's gonna. They're not here to judge you on any level. That's not what they
because
do. They only want to
because
help.
it's briefly relevant.
Okay.
As we go through the triage unit, I'm having a little bit of a difficult time.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
once we get through it, I'm fine.
Okay. No, that's not something they would pry on, unless they thought they could somehow help you. Which, in this particular case, there's not really enough time for psychological eval.
So why did you slit that guy's throat? Why?
Yeah, like I said, they would never judge you on anything unless you became violent inside their walls.
Cool.
But like I said, yeah, out back you have the 4 Fennecs. It's a Fennex, the Fennecs. Like I said, they're like small pony-sized fox-like creatures. They're a little twitchy, real quick, kind of jerky movements. But when you mount one on the very light saddles that they wear, you can feel the power beneath them. Like if you really spur them, they'll move. They're also tied to one of them is a pony-sized black ant covered with all manner of small bags and bedrolls and that type of thing. Before anyone gets uncomfortable, this is not an uncommon occurrence out here in the wastes. Giant ants are used kind of as beasts of burden because they're extremely tough, can defend themselves, and move very quickly and carry a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listener, always a little suspicious of large animals, takes a moment to try and commune with one.
The Fennecs?
Yes.
Okay. What you'll get, basically, since it is an animal with animal intelligence, is an empathy layer, basically. The creature is sussing you out just as you are it. It feels probably a little more comfortable than you do, it being in its element and being with its pack mates. He's not afraid of you. You can tell. In fact, these things seem fairly fearless. But you see no reason to mistrust.
That's good. That was his primary concern.
Yeah. You see no reason to mistrust in these.
Very good.
All right. So you guys mount up?
I'm mounting up.
As listener is communing with his mount, I'm like looking into the eyes of mine, but we're not like actually talking. I'm just like looking. Like you gonna be all right? You got this? You got this. You got this. Like psyching it up for the journey. We got this.
It actually seems more calm than you feel. Which you find strangely comforting.
Fair enough. It knows exactly what to do and can really handle it. This is good. This is good.
All right. So, Sister Angela, the older sister, comes up to you, Wilhelm, with a cloth-wrapped bundle and holds it up to you.
Thank you, sister.
You're welcome, brother. May these serve you well. I made a number of salves and poultices for you to take with you on your journey.
Thank you. Appreciate your concern.
Thank
It
you.
must be hard here, too.
Well,
given how much we get hurt, you're gonna need those.
She says we're better equipped in here than you will be out there. We wish you the best of luck, but must return. For I feel the eyes that followed you are most likely upon our front door. We can't stay gone long.
Be safe.
You as well, brother. They
We
wave.
can only help the others.
Oh, yeah. No, they wave and turn to go back inside, leaving you on the outskirts, on the outside of the wall.
Listener takes a moment to assess the supplies on the large, fierce-looking ant.
It looks like you have more than enough to meet your needs as far as food and water bundled onto the, as well as looks to be a 3 decent-sized tents, bedrolls for each of you, extra blankets, bags that contain changes of clothing, extra cloaks, goggles, gloves, boots. Like they really sacked you guys up. You got a nice spread here.
All right,
Your
let's
people
go.
are very generous, Wilhelm.
Let's go. Let's do this. We got this.
We-
Let's go. We're burning
We are
daylight here, people.
we are
Go.
helpers. I'd like to look quickly. How many? What's in the package?
Basically 3 of each of your first aid items,
Okay.
pre-prepped,
Damn.
ready to go.
You gotta go.
So yeah, this was actually a good stop for you guys. I actually had this written out that if you stopped here, it would be beneficial, but if you didn't, you'd miss out on all this lovely stuff. I was kind of hoping you'd end up on foot out in the wilds with nothing, but well.
Of course.
We're very foolish, me especially, but we're not that bad.
No, you guys tend to make actually very smart choices, all things considered.
Listen here, rein in the murder hobo. Okay, let's rein it in.
But,
Nobody's dead yet.
Okay,
Nobody's dead yet.
that's not comforting. Let's go.
All right.
Sitting here. Let's go.
Sure.
Let's
So-
go.
Listener will attempt to mount the fennec he communed with and get ready to make off.
All right. Now, real quick, does anyone have animal handling?
Yes.
I have a small amount of animal handling.
Check.
Now, you won't need it to ride the creature. If you start getting into like evasive maneuvers, that's when we're going to start needing to make rolls. I just want you to be aware of that going forward if something does happen while you're mounted.
Okay.
Noted.
Anim-
I have a small bonus, but no proficiency.
Likewise.
Cool.
Animal handling's wisdom based.
Mm-hmm.
I have a decent bonus, but no proficiency.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, that's not a bad thing. And anybody with any empathic ability could actually use that to their advantage as well.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
are you guys going to go around the north side or the south side of Abattoir as you leave? Because if we're looking at that,
I would say south because
you actually do have a token on this map, so a group token.
Yes.
I can't see it.
Uh,
I can barely see anything.
It's okay.
I can see like the 3
Well-
most recent rolls and the 1 image in like real small scale.
Let's see here.
If we go around the south, judging from the map of the town itself, we will have to cross over the main road into Abattoir, which may not be ideal for us.
It's also very rocky terrain to go that way.
Yeah, if we go around the north, we might avoid the main road, but who knows what's up there.
Side of that, but all right.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get the Phoenix out of the hole? Like, can they fit?
Well, you're outside the wall. You're good. You're out in the open air
Okay,
right now.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, they
I-
actually had their own separate gate out from behind the House of Benevolence. A secret
That's nice.
sealed gate of their own. Those sneaky benevolence.
Mhm.
Well, you should be able to move your token. So if you want to show me what direction you want to go, sounds like you're
I
leaning
agree.
north.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Gonna say agree with listener, and we had a way so we don't have to go in front of the gate. We give that a wide berth.
So north around.
Yeah,
Alright.
take
So you
a
go
vote for the north path on that basis.
this way. All right. Who's going to be your lucky charm? Let's designate a lucky charm.
Oh, who's lucky? Are any of us lucky?
I
I-
wonder who that would be. Perhaps the person with the lucky feet?
Could be.
Slash S the entire way. Because I'm the worst.
Well, I'll tell you
What are you going to have? Is it a certain thing you're focusing on that might inform our decision?
just player luck.
No,
Okay.
not me.
Oh, pure player
Not me.
luck.
Yeah.
I rolled earlier.
I think that's probably you or me, Wilhelm. We've got the best luck rolling shit.
You do.
Who's your Bilbo Baggins?
I nominate. I nominate.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
All right. Wilhelm, roll a d20 for me, please.
Alrighty. Come on.
All right.
Y'all jinxed it.
Mhm.
You make it around.
Oh, these things happen.
You make it around to here where you're at right now, uneventfully. Nobody spots you from the walls. No patrols. No random creatures. What you're running into right here are enormous sand dunes. I mean, towering, enormous. These are taller than the walls of the city. The Phoenix can navigate them, most likely, but it's going to slow you down a little bit because it is loose sand.
Mhm.
Do you want
I
to
guess
cut?
we can.
Do you want to cut through, go around?
If I get off and walk mine in the lead, trying to use my knowledge of nature to guide me around, can I do that so it doesn't take quite as long?
Not really. Honestly, the Phoenix would probably have an easier time navigating than you would out here.
It looks like we could path around them if we go on the westward side of the slopes. It seems much flatter.
Mm-hmm.
Travel through there.
It appears that way, yes.
All right, I'm good with going with the west.
All right, we're heading west.
Yep.
All right, so there you go. You make it into this area. To your north is just blasted rock. I mean, it's brittle, cracked, burnt-looking rock. The ground is steeped with taint, and it's parched and cracked and broken earth, packed soil. As you come around the dunes and step out onto this blasted plain, looking down, you can actually see skeletal remains fused with the earth beneath you. And a faint black misty fog hangs just at ground level as you come out. Most likely taint coming off the soil. The Phoenix actually lift their heads a little higher, but they keep moving. You can tell they're trying to avoid breathing it in too deeply.
When you say look down, is it look far down?
What's that?
Are we looking far down to see the human remains merged with the ground?
No,
Or is it just like right underneath us?
they're right underfoot, basically.
Okay.
Wilhelm, give me another d20 roll, please.
Alrighty.
Interesting. Okay. Nothing, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You going to carry on across the plain, dip back into the sands? What direction do you want to go?
If we travel due south from here, edge of the sand dunes, thus keeping off of the blighted soil, but not having to travel like straight up the side of a sand dune.
Yeah, you could skirt them.
How's that sound, everybody?
That looks good. Yeah, if we go to try to skirt between them.
All right. So if you do that, you're going to make it to right about here as the sun begins to darken. sunset, not anything out of the natural occurrence. But you're closing in on the end of your first daylight of travel. Give me one more d20, please. Interesting. Listener.
Yes.
As you guys are slowing down, I assume, in this area that you're in right here, you're overcome with this overwhelming sense of dread. You're sensing, with your ability as a spiritualist, this miasma in the air of pain and fear, and you're looking around, like you can just see like clawing ghostly hands coming out of the soil around your feet, an occasional face will peer up, just like twisted and contorted agony.
I reach out to the party, and using my my rapid serial form of communication, where I just pretty much transmit them all the same thought, I say the dead are restless and tormented. Here we must travel. Let me ask you first, Church. If I look upwards into the dune, perhaps exactly into the low nestled spot between these two here, does the miasma seem quite as bad there? The blight seems to be very low lying here in the sand dunes, to be somewhat freer of it.
Honestly, this is new. What you're feeling right now is new. This is if an OM could have a migraine, that's what this is starting to feel like. Like it is weighing on you so heavily that you are feeling physical nausea and pain in the same sense as a plant would. It's affecting you to the point where you right now have a -1 penalty on combat and skill rolls. That's how bad it is.
Noted. Well, I finish out the thought sent to the rest of the team with, we should not rest here. This place is not well for creatures like you or I. And he suggests that we travel up into the sand in the hopes that it is less terrible there.
Any safe place that we can make camp out here in the dangerous waste, I'm all for it.
So you want to go further into the sands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Genesis, you have
Listener.
Can I I don't know how smart that is. I mean, it's a sand dune. At least we think it's a sand dune.
Looks like a sand dune.
I mean, is anyone tired? Are we like reaching a point of exhaustion? Why can't we continue on?
You can. You're just coming into the dark part of the day.
I mean,
which is not great for moving around out here.
Nothing's stopping you from carrying on. And like I said, listener, you're not really sure what is causing this or what direction it's coming from. It's just overwhelming.
Oh yeah, and because it's overwhelming, he suggested the thing that immediately occurred to him to get out of it. And if it doesn't get him out of it, he'll be in quite a pickle.
Can we try to keep moving? Like,
it's up to you guys.
I don't feel like it's a good idea to go up into a sand dune. Like,
listener is okay with continuing on as long as it gets him away from here.
Yeah, I don't think a sand dune is a good plan, but I'm not the leader. Wilhelm, what do you think?
Listener, can you see how much do I know about what you see? How much have you said about like seeing the dead and stuff, or are you just like, this is what I found out?
You would know at this stage that listener sees the very literal spirits of the dead, and they look like normal people apart from being, to him, distinguishably different as spirits. And you would also know he has some ability to either allow them to inhabit him or to interact with them in some way.
Is there a spot where we can get like a little higher view where we can see a larger area nearby a church?
You can go up on the sand dunes. I mean, they're very high. At their peak, like I said, they're higher than the city walls.
My thoughts are we see if we can find a spot, listener, that doesn't have, if you look out and see if you can find a spot that doesn't have the dead, almost like a safe zone where they're not going to be around you. And we see about making camp there.
Yes. Church, from our current position, looking out, I can, obviously I'm seeing the clawing hands of the dead reaching up from the soil. Is there anywhere I can see from here where they're not doing that?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
I'm going to assist by just randomly pointing at things. How about over there? How about over there? How about over there?
How about over there? How about over there?
Can you see anything? No, I can't, but I'm just pointing.
I think 21's pretty good.
Looking up into the sand, based on your roll, you do see what you think, based upon the spiritual activity you see above it and the uncomfortably shapen bulges in the sand below, what may be perhaps a mass grave.
Interesting. So the logical thing would be away from that. Listener looks around at your prompting, Wilhelm, and says,
I'm joking. I'm not actually doing that.
Oh yeah, but you did mention before the pointing at stuff that we should take a look around, and listener did. He took a look around from our current vantage, and now he spots that and says, I believe that a great many were laid to rest here, perhaps away from that, and he points at this bulge in the sand.
See?
That
sand
may
dune?
do.
Yeah. Nah, not a good idea. What'd I tell you?
Hey, you had one there.
Let us.
But, let's just continue on away from that, which, if it's in the sand, then probably southwest will get us away, which we're heading there anyways.
All right, so continuing south, moving on.
Yes.
All right. So,
although not into the deep darkness of the night, I think.
I'll say you could get to probably about, we'll say here, before the darkness begins to fall. It places you between the two sand dunes. You're in the flat plains.
Wait. Okay.
You got a little wiggle room as far as the ground you want to stand on, obviously. Would you like to make camp, or would you like to carry on? I will say the Fennecs are a little antsy as it begins to get dark. Not nervous, but you can definitely tell like their ears are perked up and they're twitching at sounds, and they're very alert right now.
How am I feeling?
You feel a little better now that you've moved away. You're no longer suffering the penalty. You can definitely still feel that icky feeling behind you, but it's more of a residual feeling at this point. I was hoping Genesis would have taken her mask off back there so I could have hit her with it too, but it didn't happen.
No thanks.
Genesis stays masked up.
Yes.
So are we camping for the night? Or do you want to carry on in the dark?
I think camp.
I don't like any of this. I don't like this at all. You didn't bring a light source? Like,
Oh, you've got the means to make fire, and I'll even give you a couple lanterns in the packages on the ant.
Hmm. Wilhelm, what do you think?
I think making a fire with the defensible position around it might be the best from the things. But this is everyone's decision. Everyone should have a say in this. So, what is your thoughts?
You do have 3 tents.
Hmm.
Just to reiterate, you do have 3 tents and bed rolls, and
Okay. Hmm. Well, plant guy, what do you think?
There are too many creatures here in these wastes that could easily fight us better in the night than we could fight them. Best to stay still.
Hmm.
I do not sleep so much.
oh, I was really hoping you
I
guys
will
would run
stand
into
and listen.
Sincordia Demonda out here. That's fine.
Hmm.
I like to imagine he keeps to the southern blights.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm down there.
He looks
Alright,
remarkably
yeah,
like a
let's-
wingless shadow drake, but yeah.
If you
He
guys
just
think we
keeps
should
building
just-
sandcastles
yeah.
of gold. Well, what do you think, Source? Like I said,
I'm gonna start
everyone
setting
should
the tents up.
vote.
I think camping would be the best thing for now. Setting up for the night. We don't need to risk traveling as the night begins to fall.
Okay. So, Genesis is getting the tents set up. Anybody starting a fire?
I will start a fire.
Or... Okay. So get your fire up.
Ding, ding, ding. Just like hammering this stuff in, like ding ding ding, ding 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 ding. It's fine. I got it. I got it.
So
While that's going on, I would actually like to query the collective intelligence on a subject.
okay.
How attractive would light and heat sources be to the desperate creatures of the wastes?
Give me a survival check, and I'll let you roll it as a knowledge check. So you get your usual advantage.
Well, thank you.
14.
There you are, 14.
It's not a strong consensus, but they seem to lean towards the fact that most of the things out here don't like light. Most of the dangerous things out here
Very
don't
good.
like light.
Out of character, if y'all remember, we did witness people running around and lighting
Lighting torches.
around abattoir.
This is true. This is very true.
That did happen.
And
Listener
Genesis,
assists Wilhelm with the fire.
your people actually do this at their camps. They light torches all around the perimeters at night. So you would feel more comfortable with light.
Oh, this is a strong suggestion. We form a perimeter of light with our lanterns and campfire.
I'm thinking doing five fires. One bigger center fire, which we will try to stay around, but then 4 smaller fires outside of that range, past the tents, to form almost a barrier. So we've got the giant fire in the center, and then 4 smaller ones equal distant around us to form almost a perimeter circle.
Yeah.
If we can, we may have to ration our fuel more than that. We only have 1 ant's worth after all.
Yeah. The ant is carrying. And remember, you guys you're not burning wood. You're burning cloth bundles and basically debris bundles that have been gathered and put into cords. They don't even get peat out here, which you do normally back in the more civilized parts of the world. They'll actually ship peat out from the Angamute lands. So setting larger fires may not be terribly feasible because you will burn up a whole lot of fuel that way.
Okay.
Most of what they use are oil-based torches, with a reservoir and a wick. You do have, like I said, you have a couple lanterns, which you could use to fairly decently set a perimeter, at least to some degree, with a central fire. If you do set a central fire, the Phoenix will actually circle it and lay down. You'll notice that they're very light sleepers. The ant will just kind of stand there dumbly and wait to be led.
It's a good boy.
But you do feel a little more comfortable with the Phoenix. Like, they're very alert. You get a feeling that if something happens, there's a good chance they'll detect it if it makes any noise.
I think since we're discussing it, I think one of the keys to those fire runners we saw outside was both light and motion. So if we're going to have somebody to have a lantern anyway, instead of having 4 stationary lamps, we could have somebody walk around with one of the lanterns instead to conserve fuel.
Keep a perimeter.
I'm
Yeah.
down with that. That's about what Listener would have done anyways.
Okay.
Just to... I don't know. Once we establish a watch order, I don't know how that's going to go with 3 of us.
Well, one of you doesn't sleep.
So we're going to have 2, 2, and 2, or are we going to do, like, just one person staying awake?
2, 2, and 2 is much safer, but just... You 3 can divide up your shifts, and Listener, he'll be up the whole time, so he'll just keep you company.
Can you keep moving, though? Or do you need to stop moving for a period of time?
He conserves energy very well with the speed that he moves.
Yeah, my motion is not exactly going to wear me out anytime soon. I will, as we set down for the evening, dip into the water supply for my my daily drink. Make sure I'm fresh.
The water is remarkably fresh, by the way.
So good.
Formally.
You just don't get it like that very often.
All right, so, who's...
Remember to hydrate, folks.
What's our watch order for the rest of you, since you're spacing? Like, who's first, second, and third, we'll say?
I'll go first.
All right, so Sorsha. Who's second?
I'll go second.
Genesis, and then Wilhelm, you'll be last.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we'll do this in watches. We'll go round 1. Round 2.
72? What? Oh, D100. Okay.
Round 3.
Cthulhu rises from the ground and eats you alive.
Round 4.
Make a new character.
All right. The night passes uneventfully.
Beautiful.
Dawn sets. You guys can break camp unless there's something else you want to do. I assume you eat. I hope. I mean, you tell me if you don't want to. That's fine.
Usually.
We eat.
Okay. Everybody eats, hydrates. Let's see. We're gonna do this. Okay. The weather's fairly clear as your day starts. As far as clear as it gets out here. There's always that kind of dull cloud cover, but it doesn't appear to be stormy weather or anything.
Breaking down the tents, packing everything up. Ding, 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 ding. Fold, fold, fold.
Yeah, no problem. You'll break down uninterrupted, no hassles at all. So from here, where do we want to go? What direction?
We're heading southeast, right?
Southwest.
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 South. What?
I'm thinking we continue going southward until it looks like there's a break, and then we start heading southwest towards Butcher's Block.
All right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Seems pretty reasonable to me.
Agreed.
All right. So, I guess Wilhelm, let's give your lucky dice a check, shall we?
I'd also like to keep my eyes open to see if I see any vegetation or anything.
This is pretty bleak.
I
You can
figured
do
just
it.
seeing if there's anything.
Hmm. Lovely.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out. I don't expect to find anything, but just
17.
maybe I'll get lucky.
Let's see what. Oh,
Mm.
oh, goody. Can I get everyone to make a con save, please?
Yes.
Except
lowered
except
constitution.
except listener, please.
Okay.
Okay. Character sheet. Come on, load. Oh. Come on. Okay, there it is. Taking a second. Okay. Constitution.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's not good.
I like that.
Would it,
Oh no.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. That's a lovely little nat one.
This is where we deploy lucky.
Yeah, this is the reason that we
Oh
have
yes,
that.
you know you're right. You did
Yeah.
take lucky. You go on with your bad self.
Con save nat 1. I can't.
I was ever
Stuff
getting excited there.
on my character sheet's just like sliding around like jello shots, just like ooh.
Like
Oh,
jello
your
shots.
intelligence is over here. Ooh.
It's a new level of difficulty.
You need to like figure out where stuff is.
From a 1 to a nat
That's a touch
20.
better right there.
Look at that.
Ooh. There we go.
All right. Well,
What?
as you
Wow! I
Yeah.
didn't even see that until after I finished closing all the tabs. Nice.
so as you enter into this cul-de-sac of sand, let's say, the wind picks up and the black murky dust off the plain just kicks up into your faces. Genesis, you're like ripping the hood down in front of your face. You saw it coming a mile away. You're like, yeah, whatever, I got this.
Nope.
Sorsha, you managed to kind of, gird up as it comes. Wilhelm, you barely make it. A little bit got into your mask, and you're kind of hacking because of your lungs being a little sensitive already. So you're hacking a little bit, but you don't think enough of it got in to do any damage. So the breeze kicks down, and the dust settles a minute, and you guys can carry on. Darn it.
The benefits of osmotic oxygen processing.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
I was about to infect one of you.
Thank goodness I used that.
Lucky is a
story
great
time.
feat, by the way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we just had a long rest. Oh, get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Well, plus, it's a devious one. I was going to give you the black cough. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna kill you with this disgusting illness, but drat, you protected yourself and made your saves.
You rolled a 20.
Rats.
You earned it. You earned it. I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so- You guys will carry on to about there, and we'll get another luck roll in with your luck holder.
Okay.
Not me. I'm so happy. Oh, the pressure's off, man. Nice.
Problem is, I don't know if low, high doesn't matter. My guess is there's just a chart, and it's like you need a 4 to be good. That number exactly.
Just some stuff.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
nice.
Excellent.
What to think.
All right. Okay. You're good. You're good.
This is a very small number.
You're good. I'm making you nervous, huh?
A bit.
Because he's like, all right. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the murder hobo speaking or.
I mean, we're carrying on. We got some southwestern travel to do.
So,
Mm-hmm.
if you're carrying
Sand
on,
turns to ice.
you start to turn, I take it, southwest?
Yeah.
All right. So as you get to about here, once again, the darkness begins to descend. You want to stop for the night again, or?
Worked out all right the first time.
I think that's a good idea. What does everyone else think?
Yeah, same thing. All right. Whoosh, whoosh.
All right. So
Sorry.
Clearing out the tent. Setting up the tents. I don't even respond at this point. I see the sun start to dip in the sky, and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
going similar plan as last time, I take it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Worked well for us
Ding,
last
ding,
time.
ding,
Yep.
ding, ding. All right, we're good.
All right. So you guys set up. I take it you eat dinner,
Mm-hmm. Same as ever.
drink dinner in some cases. All right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent.
None of you wake up.
Let's get some perception checks, please, from all of you as you eat your dinner.
Oh.
That was for the animals. Nice.
They didn't notice anything. That's so scary.
Yeah, they rolled low.
Okay. Perception. Oh, okay. I'm proficient in. All right, let's get this to do it.
Just do it. All right.
Try love buff levels of scream.
So,
I'm like, come on. I don't know if that's good or not.
Wilhelm, listener in Genesis, as you're sitting around chit-chatting over dinner, just beyond eyesight to the west there, between those dunes, you hear, it sounds like mumbling voices, and you can hear people walking towards you through the dunes. It's hard to see with the light being right in front of you. You can't really see much past the firelight. The animals aren't freaking out or anything, though.
I'm palming a dagger, looking over there. Like, intensely looking over there. Whatever light source we have, I'm like...
Yeah, Sorsha, you see the rest of the crew kind of tense up and start looking westward.
My eyes are following them.
Okay.
We
Where they're
hear
looking.
something. Sounds like footsteps and voices approaching.
Oh dear.
So you guys are just watching?
Arming myself with everything that I've got over here.
I move so that the light is behind me.
All right. As you move toward the lights behind you, through the clearing there, you see it's hard to make out. Somewhere between 7 to maybe a dozen humanoid figures walking slowly in the darkness. You can see them silhouetted in the dark. Give me another perception check. You in particular, Wilhelm, since you've moved to put the fire between or behind you.
Ooh, that's gonna be a no.
That's a difficult one.
From what you can tell, there's a group of people coming through. Maybe refugees. Maybe not.
Oh no.
Can we fire our hands if we're all looking that way?
Say that again. Sorry. Sorsha.
Try our hands since we're all looking that way.
Yeah. In fact, if you guys want, if you want to stand up and kind of get the fire behind you a little bit to where you can see better, I'll give you a chance.
Sure.
I'll
As I am something of a specialist in the dead and the undead, I would be looking at them with this in mind.
Okay.
See you next time. Bye.
Can I do that sweeping thing of looking at each one of them and seeing their the vibe check thing?
You want to or read them? Yeah.
Like individually.
Oh yeah. Sorsha, I will say as you stand up, and I'll give you your vibe check in a sec. When as you stand up, get the fire behind you, and look out. There's something
Okay.
off about the way they're moving. It's not the smooth, normal gait of just regular humanoid movement. There's something kind of jerky about it. Listener, you're immediately unnerved when you look closer. It's almost like the spirit is still there, but trapped. But not like the Anrun Marv. It's like it's locked there, torturously so, riding the body. Genesis?
I don't see anything new, but I'm flexing my muscles and like standing up and trying to like look impressive and imposing.
Oh yeah. Well, you're doing an aura read. I will say, as you look out, it's a black aura coming off the whole crew.
This is a bad idea.
Are you saying that out loud?
At the sight of the black auras in front of me,
I knew this was a bad idea.
I've physically put a hand between my face and the approaching horde and looked back at the party like, run. And after I say run, I like visibly like vocally will do like the dun 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 of the meme.
So as
We gotta get out of here.
as you
Just, like,
guys
grabbing stuff and
as you guys start to tense up, the Fennecs spring to their feet and start growling in the direction of these people.
just like grabbing tent poles and like trying to collapse the tent down haphazardly. Just
Trying to break it down quick.
throw it on the ant. The ant looks offended. I'm like, I'm sorry.
All right, give me a survival check for each one you try to break down haphazardly. Let's see how much stuff you lose.
Oh,
Can I-
no.
Can I try to assist?
Yes.
Yes, I will try to
Okay.
assist.
I'll break down
I
the
will
poles.
also
You do
assist
the
too.
folding. All right, we got this. Let's do this.
Got 2 people assisting you.
All right. Do you want to
Okay.
break into groups of 2 to get more done quicker? Because they're at this rate, they're gonna
that,
reach you
honestly.
before you get it all broken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
Mhm.
All right. So you
Survival?
survival checks at advantage for both of you, whoever's the main person doing it.
I mean,
Would you be main Sorsha or would I?
Probably me be main because you're slower.
I am very slow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Speed is key.
You managed to tear one down.
12?
You may have lost a couple tent pegs.
It's fine.
Sorsha, you
Nice.
ripped that thing down like a pro. Like you have every piece accounted for, organized, and put exactly where it goes.
Nice.
As you guys converge on the third tent, the Phoenix begin to snap and growl and bark in that direction and back away as they enter the firelight. Shambling through the gloom of the wastes, you see rotted and decayed visages, hollow eyes, and rank teeth. Skeletal fingers reach for you, hungrily, and tongues that no longer fill the mouths still make some form of noise as they groan breathlessly,
Oh,
Hmm.
hungry.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
5 of them
How
have
many
breached.
are there? And how far away precisely?
5 of them have breached the firelight range. There's easily that many more behind them, and who knows beyond that.
I want to grab a torch and just like start like poking it at them. Like, get back! It's fire! Get back! Get back! It's fire!
So
Genesis,
firelight, that puts him at 60 foot.
yeah. Genesis and Wilhelm, and I'll even let listener go at this. If you want to make a, let's say, survival check to figure out what these are, I'll give you a chance.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If that is knowledge survival, I will happily apply my advantage.
Luckily,
Lean in on that collective intelligence.
yeah. Luckily, you're not the first. Blam.
Ooh. There we go.
Listener nailed it. Genesis, we'll go with your 13. Oh yeah, I'll say that's high enough for all of you, especially listener. These are a small herd of the restless dead. Genesis, you know that they are incredibly dangerous, and you need to avoid even being touched by them based on your knowledge. Listener, you know from experience that they have torn more than one of your members apart.
We gotta get out of here.
That
Let's
weren't
go.
able
We
to
gotta
get
go.
away.
Come on.
Wilhelm,
We gotta go.
they do carry the breathless plague.
We gotta get out of here. Come on.
So, one more tent to get down. If you want to, I'll say I'll give you a chance to get it packed and loaded and hop on the Phoenix and ride out in a hurry.
I think we can live without that tent.
Just leave the third one.
No.
We-
We need a tent. Come on.
We can pick it up on the way back if it's not, like, torn to shreds, and there's only 2 of you sleeping at a time anyways.
That's fair.
All
I mean, this one's missing poles. Can I grab poles out of the other one?
If you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like grab it and just like it's a javelin, just break it down as I run back to the other Finnick. Like, I hope this is enough. I don't know which ones we're missing. We're probably gonna have a couple extra, but that's fine.
That's fine.
The only things that I think we would definitely need, and listener would either grab them or point them out to people, are the lights. We need those lanterns, and
Yeah.
the ant,
Mhm.
along with the
And
Phoenix.
I don't think we've
And-
taken stuff off the ants that we didn't need to take off. Like,
Just your
we
cookware.
would secure the stuff we need on there already.
Nobody grabbed the cookware yet.
Why would the cookware be out?
You were
we would
eating
put that
dinner.
back, right?
You were eating dinner.
You're having dinner.
Grab that. We gotta grab the. I'm like shoveling stuff onto the ants. He's just he's so tired of me right now.
So
Like, you
Genesis,
have no idea.
I know this is gonna be terrible. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see.
While this is going on, I'm grabbing rope from the tent.
All right.
Oh no! Come on! No! Don't do this to me! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Okay.
Ah.
Perfectly average.
As you grab the cook pan, you kind of go, whoa, Genesis. Wait a second, and you kind of wrap your sleeve around your hand and then grab it so it doesn't scorch you.
Whoops! Close one.
You're a panic. It's okay. I figured I'd give you a chance. All right, so everybody give me a 1 animal handling check. And don't worry,
Fair
it's
enough.
not a high difficulty. This is just to make sure your animal doesn't buck or freak out.
Oh, nice, listener.
Very nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Saoirse.
shoot.
Saoirse.
Well, I mean, in Roll20 syntax, like the first number is like the first roll, anyways.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
even
great.
without advantage.
Yeah, that's great. So just Genesis left.
Okay.
Remember, you have empathic abilities.
Yes, you do. If you choose to
So-
use them.
Okay, yes, I
It-
will.
Insight's not quite what we're looking for, but
It's not letting me do the thing. Do it. Do the thing.
oh, there's two of them. All right, yeah, we'll go with your first roll. That's fine. 19.
I should
Yeah, no, you're
I
good.
should have it okay.
Yeah, you rolled a
Did the thing
19, so
twice
you're
now.
good.
Great.
All right, so
Okay.
the guys, you guys deftly, like, we're talking like stunt rider, like, launch onto your saddles and be like, "Hi ho, FedEx, away!" Who's got the
Can I
ant?
actually say that?
Sure, sure.
No one knows what I'm talking about.
Who's got the ant?
Oh.
my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got to be
that sounds right.
Genesis.
He's so tired of me. He's just like trotting behind me, like, fine.
All
I
right.
guess this is my life now. Just
So-
throw stuff in my face. I'm sorry.
Give me one more animal handling roll for the ant.
Okay. I have such fat fingers,
You have communed with the ant.
and I am trying, but this thing.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Okay.
You're doing
I
fine.
have proficiency, and I have empathic
Girls.
stuff.
What's happening?
I hope it did it.
Yeah. Let's
I
see.
can't see a
7.
thing.
All right.
It's the bad
Oh, that's crap.
And that was actually with advantage. So,
Wow.
um,
Wow.
the ant,
Oh, no.
not paying attention to you and relying more on its own fight or flight skills, turns around and
Got it.
immediately begins to engage them. It starts charging,
Oh no!
ripping the cord out of your hand.
No! I gotta get off the Finnick and run to grab the reins and try to like pull him back. No, come on.
You want to try and pull a giant ant back?
I'm like,
You could
I'm
try.
trying to like convince him to
Calm the ant.
Stop, calm down, dude. I'm grabbing the reins and I'm like
You can say, well, you're dismounting.
Burn those mentalist
giving him
abilities.
the empathic ability of like he's leaving the trail. He's leaving his home. He doesn't know where his steps are.
So
'Cause,
you have dismounted and you're grabbing the lead.
right.
Okay.
Physically grabbing the lead to make sure that I'm like connected to him somehow, but then at the same time like we're a decent distance away, you know?
You're not a decent distance away. You're just taking off.
I mean, I'm relatively close to the ant.
Oh no,
I'm not
to the
worried about
ant.
them.
Yeah. I'm saying you're relatively close to them as well now.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to like convince him because they did this study where they tied like toothpicks to the legs of ants to see how they measured distance, and they discovered that they measure it by steps. So that's why I'm like trying to give him that off-center feeling of like, if I go over there, something bad's gonna happen. You know, I'm going away from the colony or whatever.
Very scientific means of looking at that. I appreciate that.
I mean, I'm trying here. I don't know.
No, that's fine. I'll say this: you've dismounted. I won't make you roll to dismount and risk rolling an ankle or something. Because you.
Nat 1, you broke your neck.
Yeah, no, you got on the thing
Okay.
fine. We'll let that go. I need you to roll to grab the lead first.
Oh no,
It's
is
a-
that a
it's
dex
a-
save?
It's a 2-hit roll. Let's just say basic
Feel it.
2-hit
Okay, I don't know
strength.
what-
Just use your strength save
Okay.
basically.
Okay. Is it gonna scroll? Okay, it scrolled. Strength. Oh man, that's a 0. Oh, that's nice.
It's all right. It's not a high difficulty. All right, so I'll let you catch it. Make one more strength save to stay on your feet as you realize that this thing is strong enough to pull down a small building.
Ooh. Wait, hey, calm down. Whoa.
I'll let you use.
Whoa.
All right. So 10. You managed to keep your feet, but just barely. Now, what do you want to do to stop this thing? You want to use your empathy?
Calm down.
Calm down. Do you want to use your empathy?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
What's your save DC? Because Because this thing is like, it's fight or flight, and it's chosen to fight. You're trying to convince it empathically otherwise.
I don't. It's not here. Okay. I don't.
It would
Should I-
probably just be, you
Use
know,
gain advantage
the
in persuasion and
standard.
insight skill checks and can use its psychic attack. Befriend animals.
You basically would be using it as an attack in this case.
I'm at claircognizance and I don't see a spell save DC for this.
Hang on, let me see. All right, bro. I had to pull it up
Am I
here.
just looking in the wrong section, or
So it would
last
be
feature said
your
dice.
charisma plus proficiency bonus.
Charisma is a 2, proficiency is a 3.
So yeah, what was it?
What are we adding that to, though?
So charisma,
It's usually a base 8.
yeah,
Okay.
8 plus charisma plus proficiency bonus to resist the effects.
13? Are you kidding me? That's so low.
You're forcing your will upon another
Easily.
creature. It's okay.
Stop!
So,
Stop with all the H's. Stop!
all right, you convinced him.
Let's get out of here!
He rears his head back, snaps his mandibles at the things a couple times, and then turns around and lets you lead him back. So
Come on, come on, come on.
one
Okay,
more
Fennec.
one more animal handling.
Tally ho!
One more animal handling. One more, and then you guys are scot-free. Minus a tent.
No!
Oh,
Oh no! Oh no! No!
you can do it.
You got this.
No!
You got this.
No. Come on, tiny character sheet. We can do this. Come on.
You got this.
No.
Oh.
I
21.
can't see anything.
That's all very good,
21.
actually.
I can't see.
With style. With
Okay,
style.
Okay, I don't know. It's pressed it 50 times. I don't understand.
So yeah, you grab that lead, you wrap it around your wrist, double lock it in, run, do a double flip, land on the thing's butt, slide into the saddle, go tally-o, and take off. Alright.
The Finnick rears up somehow, majestically.
Majestic Phoenix. So you guys haul. That was very narrow, very close. But yeah, you guys are all mounted. The ant is in tow, and you're going to easily outrun these things. The question is, how far
Beautiful.
and how long are you going to go into the night?
Let me consult my knowledge of the restless dead.
Mhm.
We're getting out of there. We're booking it.
They're not particularly fast, although they are actually slightly faster than me, but not on a Finnick.
Not on a Fennec. Definitely not on a Fennec.
That was so close.
Would I know that they're not incredibly perceptive?
Yeah, to a point.
Just, like, running. I'm just
Like for you as a
Go.
spiritualist, they're the unintelligent, unaware dead. It's more like the spirits that just kind of go through motions rather than can interact with you.
Okay. Listener's suggestion on that basis would be that we could travel for as short a time as a half an hour, do a dog leg to get a little bit out of our normal trail, and probably avoid them. In fact, let me check that against Church. Church, I would like to spot check this plan with the collective.
Honestly, they're gonna come back with, why do you need to stop?
Oh, just the darkness being dangerous. You could easily run into something else out here.
Yeah, but you don't sleep, you don't eat, but
Oh, listener reminds them. The other ones do.
Oh. Oh. Yes. Yes, the organics. Okay.
All these fleshlings, I'm telling you, it's like they hurry around all day just to sleep half of it. It's incredible.
Mm. Yeah, no, they'll concede.
Mhm.
They'll concede that your plan makes sense.
Okay. Well, that is the one that listener suggests to the group at large.
All right. What direction were you traveling? South, southwest, southeast, east, any direction?
Southwest along the sand dune, I think, is what we were doing when we packed up for the night.
All right. So that gets you to about there. Not too far.
Yeah, half an hour mounted on Phoenix, I imagine, made it a couple miles.
Yeah. You made some good nighttime progress. We'll say it right about there. You want to stop again and rest, or keep making the attempt?
We need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get our lucky dice roller.
Alright. D20?
Mm-hmm. It's a fun system. I like this.
No, Dad, that was
Alrighty.
15. Okay. Excellent. That gives you a freebie. The night passes uneventfully. You guys managed to get a little rest.
Hey, all right.
Is it just me or is your voice cutting out a lot?
Is mine cutting out?
Mm-hmm.
Is it for everybody, or?
Oh, little bits. Little bits.
It's like
Here and there.
to the sentence, but then the tail end of it is just gone. Like, managed to pass the night uneventfully and then nothing.
Yeah, no, the night passes uneventfully. Here, let me see here. Yeah, that is weird.
Okay.
There we go. I'll just have to do it this way.
All right.
All right, yeah. So the night passes uneventfully with the rolls you got. No problems at all. You managed to get some rest. Get up, tear down uneventfully. However, on the southwestern horizon, there appears to be a nasty black dust storm forming, heading your way. You can even see black bolts of lightning flaring up in it.
We should do something about that, but should we do it in the next episode?
I was
Okay.
just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we can.
This is a good thing to break.
I love a cliffhanger.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I hate it.
So.
Absolutely hate it. But that's fine.
Oh yeah. No, that's good. We can call it here because the storms. I was hoping I would roll up a good nasty storm for you guys. So this is going to be
Yeah, that
interesting.
97 is vicious.
Oh yes.
Yikes.
I've still got a couple more surprises up my sleeve. I hope to pull before you guys actually get there.
Oh no. I'm not a fan of that.
But yeah, for those of you who've tuned in, thank you very much for joining us once again. We'll be back in 2 weeks, I believe, to carry on this story.
Right.
Yes.
2021.
2021, that's right. New year, new us. Hopefully not, because that means we're dead in D&D.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be better. Same old us.
Same
really.
old us, yeah. New year, same old us.
Yes.
But yeah,
Starting the new year with a giant black storm.
black storm on the horizon.
2021 off to a fantastic start. We're just
Oh,
going to keep
An
on rolling.
impending catastrophe. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
It's it.
But yeah, thank you for joining us, and we will see you very soon.
Good night,
Nothing
everyone.
like real
Good
life.
night, everyone.
Night.